Hello and welcome to the NHL Best Bets. Last night we had a few picks. Let's go those through quickly first, and we'll see here that St. Louis LA Kings game was postponed. Kings were stuck in Denver due to snowstorm or bad weather, and this game will be played later, so no bet there. Then Vancouver Ottawa, very even game like we predicted this time. Coin flip went to Vancouver in overtime and they won 3-2, even though the shots were for Ottawa 46-28. But Thatcher Demko in Vancouver's goal was pretty good, and he secured the victory for the visitors here. Tommy, what kind of comments you have for this Scotia North Division game?
Yeah, I think it was exactly as we expected. So a lot closer game than the odds were indicating. Of course, a bad start for Ottawa. They allowed 2 goals early on and then were chasing for the whole game. But they managed to tie it up in the third and then, of course, lost in the overtime. We're very used to these sort of things. So if you get the draw no bet option, maybe dig that up again and let's go for that. But a very good game from Ottawa. They could have easily scored and won the game. They shot over 40 times towards Thatcher Demko, played a really good game. So I think the pick was very good, and with these sort of odds we're gonna do this again. Let's see tomorrow when they are facing again, how do we approach that one. Maybe Ottawa will have goaltender, one of their better goaltenders back. This time it was Joey Daccord who played pretty well, so no fault there, but Vancouver was just a tad better this time around.
Yeah, then there were a few other games that we discussed yesterday. Philadelphia-New York Rangers game was clearly over, like it was predicted. At the end, Philadelphia won 5-4 in overtime, so 8 goals during the regulation. So bet for 7.5 over would be pretty good odds usually, and this time it was correct bet as well.
Yeah, the totals have been now going really well for the simulation engine. Like this game was a good example. It was a clear over. Of course, the odds for over 5.5 goals were quite bad, so that's why we didn't pick this as our selection. Also, they went down when the game got closer. The line went up to 6. Also the odds makers and other bettors were thinking that this is an over game, but in simulations we made a bet in 7 of the games last night, and all of them were correct in the total. So very good value. Another night in a row that we are not making any wrong selections. So this is unheard of to be fair, and a very good result. We're clearly now in the plus from the totals as well as we are from side value and money line, even if last night was pretty bad for the side value picks.
Any other games that you want to highlight from the last night, or we forget those not so great side value picks and continue for tonight?
Not really anything to highlight except for maybe Buffalo struggles again against Washington 6-0. We had Washington clearly favored there, so that was a good pick there. But of course the odds were also pretty lousy, so not much to tell. It was a night for the favorites. So the money line we did make a profit of plus 62 units, 3 incorrect picks only in money line. But in the side value, we only had 3 correct. So side value pretty lousy because most of the favorites held their ground and no big surprises there in this time.
Speaking about Washington, let's go through the picks that we have for tonight here. So we have first Boston plays back-to-back game in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh won quite convincingly last night, 4-1. Now they have a reasonably good odds, minus 112 as a home team, and side value is clearly on Pittsburgh side here based on our simulations. Then New York Islanders continue their winning streak hunt in Washington. Like I said, Washington was clearly better team last night than Buffalo on the road. Now they come back to home and face a much tougher opponent. But plus odds at home for Washington are something that it could be not so good to pass, and there is great value for this home team based on our simulation.
Yeah, extremely interesting Eastern Division games. These are the top 4 teams at the moment there. Of course, Philadelphia Flyers challenging as well, but all of these teams are fighting for the playoff spot, even the winning of this division. So interesting matchups. Of course, Pittsburgh Penguins, we have been downplaying them a little bit early on. We were expecting that they are a little bit past their peak maybe, but they have improved lately and they play now very good ice hockey. They beat Boston comfortably last night. It was partly due to Boston not being able to get anything going. It was a bit disappointing, I think, from the Boston team on the road, and it is due to continue because Pittsburgh Penguins are not changing a lot of things. They are playing the way that they've always done. Of course, now they get production in the power play. They get production from Crosby, from Malkin. So now they are firing with all the cylinders, which they were not doing early in the season. So Penguins is a little bit wider team at the moment in quality, while Boston doesn't seem to get their top line going, and the rest is not good enough at the moment. We're expecting better from Boston as well, but this time with these odds, Penguins is a good pick here for over 60% in our simulations to win it second night in a row. And then Washington Capitals, of course, New York Islanders have now won 10 games in a row or something like this.
I think 9.
Yeah, so it will be a tough one against Islanders, but Capitals warmed up yesterday against Buffalo. They won 6-0. Didn't really have to put all their effort in there. Buffalo is such a bad team, especially was last night. So I think Capitals just got pumped from that in preparation for the game against Islanders, and especially now playing at home. It is a great value for 58% in simulations, while the odds indicate about 49%. So positive odds for a home team that is generally a better team. Of course, hot streak of the Islanders puts it a little bit in doubt, but I think this sort of streak will come to an end at some point, and why not tonight?
And Washington hasn't played too bad either. They have won 9 out of their last 10 games, so last 5 winning in a row. So both teams have been red hot during the last 10 games. Only 1 loss for each team. So here it's a real battle of the East with top form teams in Washington. And maybe a few words still for the Boston-Pittsburgh game. Pittsburgh has faced Boston 5 times at home during the last 3 seasons and yesterday, and they won every game. And also this back-to-back game at home has favored Pittsburgh because their win percentage during the last 3 seasons is 62%, but their back-to-back home win percentage is almost 74%. So they have been playing very well after they have another game earlier or previous night, and they have come back after warming up first game to win the second one.
Yeah, at least according to last night's game, I think Penguins are a great match for Boston. Penguins can control the puck against Bruins. Not that many teams can do that, so I think that's one of the keys why Penguins are winning at home. They're able to switch the lines, to do what they want to do, and then they are losing in Boston, if I remember correctly. It's the similar way that then Boston is able to control the game, keep the flow of the game going. So I think this is a great matchup now going for Pittsburgh's way. If they go back to Boston, I'm not sure if they still play there, but then it's probably Boston that's going to take the game. Also interesting is which goaltenders are going to play. Boston Bruins issues with Tuukka Rask's health, so Jaroslav Halak was playing last night. It could be that the young guy Dan Vladar, another Czech goaltender, will get a chance tonight. Pittsburgh is likely to start Casey DeSmith as Tristan Jarry played last night.
You said that simulations have now picked good stride for the total bets, and there is again our favorite total bet here, Arizona at Minnesota under available. So do you think that is worth to bet again and again?
I think so. I think it is in the long run a good bet because the simulations indicated 62.8% going under 5.5. Minnesota and Arizona, not much has changed there either. So both good goaltenders, be it Cam Talbot or Kaapo Kähkönen. Now Cam Talbot has shown after we gave him a bit of a hard time, he's now shown that he's a winning goaltender and not allowing a lot of goals. So great games against Arizona. Might be that he's continuing. Doesn't really matter. Kähkönen also a great goaltender. And same goes for Arizona. Antti Raanta has now, when he stays healthy and fit, he's a great keeper. Let's hope that his health will continue and this is going to be another under.
Then we have again list of these big favorites that have some minor value here. Carolina plays in Detroit. Tampa plays Stanley Cup rematch in Dallas. Maybe not so big favorite there as we could thought earlier. And then Colorado over 80% favorite at home against Anaheim. So again, if you want to have some high probability winners here with very low return of your money, these are the games. But do you think it make any sense to bet these big favorites?
Yeah, there is still value in these favorites as well. Not a lot. Like usual, the odds are quite lousy. But for example, Colorado facing Anaheim, so much better team. Colorado finally got their game going a little bit. I think they will take this quite easily. But of course, with these odds of minus 313, it might not be worth the risk. But according to simulations, there is value of about 7.5%, which is okay. And similar situation in Detroit, where Carolina is facing the quite lousy Detroit team. Detroit fought well in the last game. They only lost 1-2. Of course, Carolina might have actually scored a couple more, but it was a little bit of an off night for a better team. But it's always when you are road favorites this heavy, Detroit playing at home, maybe have a chip on their shoulder a little bit after losing the last one. It's a bit of a danger there. So with the odds of minus 233, Carolina does have about 6% value there, but still I would stay away from the heavy heavy road favorites in this case.
Let's see how the favorites will play, but we rely on a few home favorites, at least in our simulations tonight, Washington and Pittsburgh.
Very interesting top matchups of the league.